So here's my raw, unfiltered advice if you have finally decided that you're going to go from zero to part or full-time creator or YouTuber online in the next 6 to 12 months. In order to do this, we need to lay the foundations and bust through some of the myths and limiting beliefs surrounding making money online. It's interesting to me because the internet will either make content creation, being a YouTuber, look fast and glamorous, or it will make it look begrudging and hustly and horrible. I would like to assert that there is a middle ground that is rooted in wisdom, that is rooted in truth, that is rooted in you being able to be yourself and to utilize the things that are already inside of you, the things that are already in your life, to be able to make real, actual, sustainable money online. You don't have to get all into hustle culture and be grinding until 2 a.m., but you also realize that it's not going to be fast money, that it's not all glamorous, that it's not all the influencer life. So you don't have to become an influencer. You don't have to go viral. You don't have to have some huge audience, but there is this opportunity today. There is a window in front of us. And I would like to assert that it's real people, genuine, authentic people that have the biggest opportunity right now because the landscape of making money online and content creation is shifting. It's different, but it's not done. We're just in this really interesting moment of time where people are craving authenticity more than ever. The classic influencer era is going away, that's perishing. And we're on the precipice of the dawning of the age of AI. People are wanting to build community. They're wanting to feel like other people hear them, understand them, other people have overcome things. Some people are wanting to just really learn how to do basic things, and they're looking for that stuff online, on YouTube, from people that they feel like they can connect with. So the good news is that means that you can make real income online, you can make part-time income, you can make full-time income, and that could be a blessing to you in your life, to your family right now, but it also means that you can take the things that are already inside of you, that you've already walked through, and you can be a blessing to other people. Which leads me to my first point, that this isn't about a quick win, though you can have quick wins. So let me explain. You will see and hear a lot of things online about, you can make $11,000, $24,000 in your first month, in a weekend. Does that happen for some people? Yes. Does it happen for most people? No. If we are trying to just make fast money, or if the entire intention is just to figure out hacks and ways to make the money, and we're not building an ecosystem, we don't understand how the community building aspect works, we don't understand how the dots get connected for sustainable income online, then we're always just going to be jumping to the next hack. We're always going to be jumping to the next quick payday. And some people do make a living online like that. They do this drop over the weekend. They know how to do ads. They know how to say all the things. And then a whole bunch of people buy that. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's terrible quality. And because their face is not attached to it, because they don't care about their reputation, or it's not directly attached to it, they just jump to the next thing. So when people are trying to sell you a quick win, it doesn't mean that quick wins aren't possible, but it means that they are about to leave out some of the most important things for you to create something that actually has some purpose, that actually means something, that can sustain something, that can build an ecosystem, that can carry and go on for years in the future. So when I say that it's not about a quick win, but you can get quick wins, part of what I'm talking about is that, let's say that you decide to start your YouTube channel and you learn what you need to learn to understand how it works strategically. You set it up properly, you learn how to launch properly, you learn how to package properly and position properly. That takes effort, that takes willingness, that takes courage. But you also don't have to wait to go viral. You don't have to wait to be monetized on the platform. You don't have to wait to have a huge audience to begin to generate income online. You can 100% learn how to monetize that ecosystem that you're building on YouTube or on one of these other platforms before going viral. And you don't even ever have to go viral to make income online. Before building some huge amount of subscribers, you can make money on your channel with 500 or 1,000 subscribers by positioning yourself properly, understanding who your audience is, packaging things properly, creating something that can convert and build community. And you don't have to wait for the platform. You don't have to be a slave to the platform and chase the algorithm, but rather be positioned so that the platform can work for you. And then you can develop these various streams of income that can come forth from the hub of the platform and go out into all of these different areas. So that's how you can have quick wins, meaning you don't have to wait years to be monetized by the platform. But it's not about a quick win, or you're always going to be jumping from one hustle to the next, and you're never going to actually create something real, sustainable, that has any sort of purpose or depth to it. So are you going to be a millionaire in 30 days? Probably not, but can you have some wonderful wins in 30 days? Absolutely. If you get the proper education, you begin to understand how all of this works, you can begin to see movement and shifts in 30 days. So when we have a good focus and we're beginning to understand who our person is that we want to have come and find our content, our business, our brand, then we can begin to understand niche-focused partnerships, brand partnerships, and collaborations. We can begin to understand how affiliate marketing is going to work in that lane. We can begin to understand what kind of resources that we can own off of the platform that can benefit the people who are coming to our channel or to that platform. And we can create proper resources that we can send people to. Or if we have a business, we can generate videos in a way that is going to create community with people, and they are going to want to utilize our business, our products, our coaching. And so you don't need this huge following. You need the right following. So you need to learn how to bring the right people to your channel, to your platform, as opposed to just bringing a ton of people. And this is where you're going to want to learn how to mix the types of content, like evergreen content, trending content, and community building content. Those are the three types of content. And then when you blend those content types together, you're able to bring new people to your platform. You're able to nurture the people that are already there. And you're also able, especially on YouTube, because YouTube is the main place where you can have evergreen content. You can have evergreen content that can continue to work for you long after you put the content out there. It can continue to direct people back to your brand or business, back to your other videos, back to your resources, back to your affiliate links. And that is how you begin to create passive income. You hear people talk about passive income all the time. Well, no income is fully passive because you have to initially do some sort of work. But the goal is that you do the work one time, put it out there, and then that one piece of content from that one time that you worked on it can continue to generate income going forward. And you don't have to, other than some maintenance work, you don't have to put a whole lot more work into that. And yet it's creating income for you. That is passive income. And you can begin to generate passive income well before your numbers are sky high. I mean, the reality is there are people that have 100,000, 200,000 subscribers and they're barely making rent. And there are people that have 1,000 subscribers. They've generated the right people and they really have a focus and they really solve a specific issue, or they create a very specific atmosphere that people are looking for, and they've learned how to build that community, and those people are making a very, very, very good income every single month on YouTube. So that lane, that focus, niche, sub-niche, that matters more than your subscriber count, especially right now. In 2026, follower count is a little bit of a vanity metric. It does still kind of matter when it comes to brand partnerships, but even at that, they are looking for how many people are coming to each video, how long are they watching for. So that follower count or that subscriber count is slightly a vanity metric. What matters more as far as generating income, as far as making each video count that you're putting this energy into, is how are they engaging with the content and how are they engaging with the other things that you might be offering through that content. Knowing how to generate or being able to generate engagement is more important in 2026 than just puffing up the numbers. That's why you don't want to just do, out of those three content types, evergreen, trending, and community building, you don't just want to be doing all trending because we're chasing, I want numbers, 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 and we never do the community building and we never have anything that is truly evergreen because it's all right now and it's all sensational. That will bring in and inflate numbers and it will bring new people and it might even go viral. But are those people going to stick around? Are they going to engage with each video? Are they going to become loyal? Are you going to be able to build community with them? Are they going to use your resources? And the reason why this is so profound and so important is because it kind of sets you free. A lot of people are getting onto these platforms and feeling like they have to constantly be enslaved to the platform. They have to constantly chase the algorithm. It kind of sets you free when you realize that there's all these other streams and all these other possibilities around the platform, and we're using it as this ecosystem instead of something that we have to chase, and then realizing that we can make it work for us instead of us constantly having to work for it. It reduces burnout, it reduces discouragement and frustration, and it makes the experience more pleasant, which means that you can typically be more consistent and your emotions aren't going up and down just based on numbers. And I just want to take a minute to let you know about my resources. I have a free purpose to profit YouTube starter checklist. And this PDF checklist download does come with a video where I go into a little more context about the things in the PDF. So you can click the link in the description box. You can get this for free and you will get the PDF along with the video that goes along with it. I also have my Redeeming Wealth book. This is getting into the mindset things and the spiritual things, generational things, theology things, and really understanding a kingdom mindset about resources, wealth, stewardship. A lot of these things do make a difference in how we relate in our life to money, the scary word of money. So if that is of interest to you, that's in paperback and hardcover on Amazon. I have my 30-day online income clarity challenge. I have my Crack the Code course, and of course I have my Purpose to Profit YouTube Masterclass, and both courses come with a private access link to a Skool community for ongoing connection and support. So if any of that sounds like it's what you've been looking for or you want to find out more information, the links will be for you in the description box and pinned in the comments below. Now back to the video. So the reality is, the clearer your person, the clearer the lane, whatever you want to call it, lane, focus, niche, sub-niche, the more you understand the person, the more you understand what they're looking for, the more that you understand what type of feeling and outcome you are looking to generate for people with each video, the more passion you have behind that, the more that you could talk about that all day, the more that you could be supportive with that, the more that you feel like you want to generate that type of atmosphere for people, the more specific that is, the better the outcome. So for example, instead of something broad like cooking, you do simple nourishing meals for a large family, or you do high protein cooking for people with autoimmune disease, or for busy families, high protein meals for busy families. You want to make sure that you don't lock yourself in such a small box that you don't have any opportunity to expound and expand, but especially for your first 10 to 20 videos, you want to make sure that YouTube very clearly, or whatever the platform is that you're on, very clearly is able to begin to understand who to put your stuff in front of. Because when they have a really good understanding of who to put it in front of, they will put it in front of more people. And if those people engage more with what's being put in front of them, then they're going to push it out to even more people. So you want to understand that person. Then when that person comes and they leave a comment or they engage in some way, you want to then double down on that feedback, and you really want to lock into this for the first 6 months of your launch or your relaunch. Creators fail because they quit too early, they tap out. They set themselves up for discouragement and burnout, and then they tap out too quickly. They tap out before the success comes because it's hard to do things that are in the unknown that we haven't done before. It's hard to do things that are uncomfortable. It's hard to learn. It's hard to break through limiting beliefs. It's hard to fail and get back up again a bunch of times. It's hard to commit to learning the strategies. It's hard to deal sometimes with rejection. It's easier when we set ourselves up for more success and more effective and efficient workflow. But a lot of people sabotage right from the beginning. They don't launch properly. They don't understand the heart of how this works. They don't understand the heart of the platform. And if we want to overcome the statistics, then we have to set ourselves up for success, both with our expectations, with the mindset we're going into it with, and then the strategies that we develop and implement, and make sure that we're being realistic with ourselves in the season that we're in. It's better to undercommit than to overcommit. And then if you're able to do more, that's great. But you don't want to say, I'm going to put out 5 videos a week, and which isn't going to improve your situation by doing that. And then you burn yourself out and you're only able to put out a video every other week, because that is going to signal something to the platform. And then you're kind of going to have to start over. So it's better to be honest with yourself, to create something that's going to work in your season of life, to not overthink the process to the point where you're making it a lot harder on yourself. It's okay to sit at your dining room table with some natural light in front of the window without perfect audio. It's okay to do that in the beginning, as long as you understand how, again, to position yourself with the algorithm and how to package it, and you understand the crucial nature of the first 30 seconds of, especially like a YouTube video, where you understand the crucial nature of creating the transformation or the atmosphere that the person is coming for. Everything else about the video doesn't have to be perfect. So overthinking, burnout, not planning properly, and then tapping out too early is why most creators end up quitting. And then they will go to try to relaunch multiple times, and when you just go into it with the same mindsets, the same limiting beliefs, the same non-structure, you're going to continue to have the same experience. And a lot of times that non-structure is based around not having clarity about what you're doing, not having clarity about the platform, not having clarity about the audience. Just the clarity thing is really, really key. You have to learn the skill of content. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have, the entire environment doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the grandmaster storyteller. You don't have to be perfect at editing, but you do have to learn the basic skill of content, which means basic storytelling, which everybody can learn how to do. It means understanding visual or verbal hooks, titles, thumbnails, and it means understanding your audience and the basics of engagement like CTR and RPM. Understanding those basics of the analytics and how engagement works on that particular platform that you are on. But you have to learn the skill of content. Again, I think when we have to learn something new, we have to understand something new, it does take courage to step out into the unknown and to be a little bit uncomfortable. And most people just never make it past that point. So if you're willing to feel uncomfortable and keep going, you are already ahead of the game. You're already ahead of 90% of people, because that is one thing I see over and over and over again, is as soon as people feel uncomfortable, as soon as something begins to stretch them, a lot of people will turn around and run back into the familiar hell of the comfort zone, instead of doing the things that are making them uncomfortable, that are squeezing them a little bit, and pressing through that discomfort to the other side where the freedom is, where the victory is. And it's so satisfying to say, I'm going to set out and do this 6 months, 12 months. I'm going to set out and do this and actually accomplish something, actually learn something new and put it in place and realize that you did it. Please, please, like I said before, do not rely just on platform monetization. Allow platform monetization to be the big bonus if you ever hit that point. Don't have that be the be all end all, because that will be one of the big discouragement things that'll make people tap out. Understand that there are so many different ways for you to generate income on these platforms that don't have to be reliant on these platforms. And when you do build that proper community, you can very quickly begin to utilize courses, coaching, affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is one of the first things that you can do, services, whatever it is that you are wanting to offer. And one of the big things right now is communities, community building, having a community or a membership page. These are all things that you can do early on, well before any sort of platform monetization. So yes, things change, things are changing quickly, but there are also foundational things that if you learn and understand, then you're kind of able to be flexible and ebb and flow with some of the changes. And if you understand that there's a window of time that we're in right now, there just has to come a day when you say, I'm just going to start. Because I don't know how long this window of time is. I don't know how long it is until everything shifts or the AI thing goes nuts. I don't know. But I know when we're in these different pockets of time that there has to come the day when you just say, I'm just going to start. I'm okay with the fact that I'm going to fall and have to get up and fall and have to get up. You start, you're not maybe that great at it at first, but you learn the things you need to learn. You fall, you get back up, and then you get better. That is how it works, but there has to come the day when you say, I'm just going to start. This time, I am going to stick with something. I'm going to stick with the program. And I am going to get through 15 days and 30 days, and I'm going to be doing something, even if it's a small step, every single day. And I'm not going to go back to the thing where I get all inspired and crazy and I do things for 3 weeks and then I don't do something for 5 weeks. We can't do that. Even if it's something very, very tiny that you do consistently, let's say 5 days a week. That's better than trying to cram a whole bunch of big things into a short period of time and then falling off. Because not only does it make you look flaky with the audience you're trying to build, but also with the algorithm, which really are kind of one in the same thing. So if you are starting a brand business channel this year, let me know where you're at in the journey in the comments below. I am so happy to walk beside you. So thankful that you chose to take a piece out of your precious day to spend it here with me. Remember that you can do hard things, and I will see you, Lord willing, on the next one. Bye, friends.